Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. And today I'm going to be talking about the 5 best albums to get into country. Now, at the moment we are in the most fascinating country revival. We just saw Ringo Starr record a country album, and last year even Beyoncé recorded and definitely owned doing a country album. And a lot of other artists are making country music. So, if you feel that there is something interesting happening in the world of country, but you wonder where do I start if I want to dive in a little bit deeper and start to appreciate the album, this is the video for you. I took a look at the 5 best albums to start getting into country with. And at number 5, I'm gonna put a great country album here. But this is a very good way to start listening to country because when I started listening to country, I really had for me, it was a boundary. I thought that's not a genre for me. Um, I wanted something to recognize, something to hold on to. And then when an artist you may know from other genres who had a country album or even a country period might come in very handy. So that's why I'm kicking off this video with Bob Dylan's Nashville Skyline. It's not that necessarily the first time I listened to this I could understand it because I wasn't really aware that this was a full blown country album. Bob Dylan stopped smoking, so the XL Main Street Dylan was replaced with the "To Be Alone with You." That's what I'm gonna do. And some of the fans did not appreciate that tone of voice. I think here Dylan is singing gorgeously. There was so much joy in his voice, so much excitement, and he feels really happy and really proud to explore the country genre. And he does an incredible job. I mean, take a look at who he's working here with here. Bob Wilson. He's working with Pete Drake, Charles McCoy, Charlie Daniels, who also had a very good band, and a guest appearance from the one and only Johnny Cash. As a matter of fact, Dylan opens this record with a rendition of a song that he already wrote earlier, but Girl from the North Country. And it's just that combination of voices. Dylan with the more, yeah, the new kind of Dylan voice, like, if you're traveling to the North Country Fair, and then you get Johnny Cash. See for me that her hair is like low. My low voice is horrible, I know, but imagine just the voice of Johnny Cash doing that, and these two they work together brilliantly, and that's just the opening here. And you get Nashville Skyline, Rag, to be alone with you, to be alone with you. I threw it all away, and these songs are so gorgeously light-hearted country, not yippee all country, but really gorgeous. Under a, you see the sun setting down under a tree. You're calm and relaxed. It's just this one really sets the mood, and it's like slipping into a warm bath. Nashville Skyline by Bob Dylan. Now I'm gonna continue with actually the first country album I ever listened to because about 20 years ago, same thing as I had when I just started listening to country, which was 5 years ago. I thought that country was not a genre for me. I was really into rock. But then you had that movie, Walk the Line. And Walk the Line was a great film. And that director, by the way, just made the documentary, the biopic about Bob Dylan, which here in the Netherlands has not been released. So I'm really curious to watch A Complete Unknown. But he also did Walk the Line about Johnny Cash, played by Joaquin Phoenix, and that was completely cool. And those songs were completely cool. And in my street, within my friends, it was cool to listen to Johnny Cash again. So I listened to his jail record because at a certain time, Johnny Cash decided he got so many letters from, well, convicts. I mean, people in prisons who who recognized themselves in Cash. So Johnny Cash thought, what, I'm gonna record a live album in front of them, and the excitement, the atmosphere, the feeling that they were heard, and not just them. It gave a dimension to Johnny Cash. It felt as if Johnny Cash was heard, as if his element of outlaw finally was recognized, and as if also that was something to take into consideration when listening to these songs. This live album is wild. It's really good, and it clicked with me the moment I listened to it. And I was 15, and there was not a country tradition in my environment. It was just immediately so good. Opening of Wanted Man, then San Quentin on site two times. San Quentin, you've been living hell to me, and the response was so good. He played it again. This version of A Boy Named Sue is one of the best live recordings ever. Peace in the Valley near the end of the record, then ending with Folsom Prison Blues. Oh man, I get goosebumps just talking about it. This is a very good album to get into country with. Now, again, a personal choice here because this was the album, the second country record that I listened to. Basically, the second country album that I listened to. But there was a big gap in between, about 15 years from listening to Johnny Cash, which was an island in my musical taste for me, and taking the step to listen to this one. Kris Kristofferson, The Silver-Tongued Devil and I walked into Waterloo, the Waterloo Market here in Amsterdam, and there's a record seller, Ruud, and I was getting into Americana. I was listening to a lot to the band and stuff, and then he said, "Well, this might be the right time to introduce you to Kris Kristofferson." He said, "Do you know Kris Kristofferson?" I said, "Yeah, well, he's a very good actor." He said, "True that, but he's also a musician." And I heard someone tell me about him before. I said, "Yeah, but that's country." And then, but it's real country, the diehard, deep American Southern country. And he says, "Yeah, but did you know that he's really, really good? And these songs are so well structured, and there are a lot of great stories here. I mean, take a look at the Pilgrim, chapter 33. He said, well, he's name checking a lot of the greats of Johnny Cash, Dennis Hopper. He was in that Sam Peckinpah scene. So, well, that's interesting. The Sam Peckinpah scene." And he said, "Epitaph, Black and Blue. That's about Janis Joplin." I said, "No, about Janis Joplin." "Yeah," he said, "it's about Janis Joplin. They were in a relationship together." And Epitaph was written right after he heard she had passed away. They weren't in a relationship anymore, but they had a short relationship, two of them. They had this drinking colleague. How do you say it? Drinking bond. Yeah, drinking bond. And he said, "You know what? Give it a shot. Give it a shot. And if you do not enjoy it, bring it back to me because it's such a great album. I'll easily sell it to someone else." So I took it home, and it opened with the song "The Silver-Tongued Devil and I," which is absolutely recognizable, a country soul, country root, a country, raw, direct country. And I really had to get adjusted to that. Then you get Joey and the Kid, and I thought, yeah, it's good. Good Christian Soldier, it's okay, it's good. Breakdown, A Long Way from Home. And after side one, I thought, yeah, it's intriguing, but it's not yet there in my soul for me, if you understand. And then side two happened. Loving her was easier than anything I'll ever do again. I was completely struck. As struck by lightning, I needed the first side to get adjusted to the tone, and the second side. I have spent the next months in love with this and the first album of Kris Kristofferson. The Taker is good. When I Loved Her is great. Then The Pilgrim, Chapter 33, which is great fun and gives so much insight. It's such an album of brilliant writing. And Epitaph Black and Blue is one of the best songs ever recorded. Ah, I've cried my eyes out during that song. This is for me the most essential album that got me into country. And it has everything to do with the brilliant writing of Kris Kristofferson. He is a poet, a preacher, a prophet, and a pusher. Kris Kristofferson, The Silver Tongued Devil and I. Now, if you are getting into country because of the current movement, there have been some changes in country. And I was thinking of putting Songs Ohio on this spot, but that might be a little bit too. I love that record, and if I'm gonna do a video about the best country albums ever, it's gonna end up high. But I was thinking about if you want to get into country, understand its soul of the and the feeling that the more alternative country has had in the last couple of years, then this might be a great addition to this video. Bonnie Prince Billy, I See a Darkness. And this is a record from 1999. I thought it was even more recent. Damn. Um, Bonnie Prince Billy is a poet. His real name is Will Oldham, and he has the essence of country in his heart and in his soul, but he really makes it into this alternative indie country element, and it makes country so much deeper than um, the overly heavy refurbed either Song of Love or Song of Complaint that you do get a lot the last couple of years before the current revival. He adds layers, just like Kris Kristofferson did, but he finds his own identity in a completely new, lovable way. Bonnie Prince Billy just had another record, The Purple Bird, also a great album, but this is his masterpiece, and I think it's one of the best country albums out there, and a great more recent or addition that you it's likely you'll fall in love with country if you haven't done that already. Now, one more album, and this is the one for me that is just all of these records are pure gold, but this one, Willie Nelson, Red-Headed Stranger, you will find brings you into a whole new world. As a matter of fact, Red-Headed Stranger, it's Willie Nelson telling a story, and it's beautifully raw and direct recorded with the most gorgeous sound. It's one of the best sounding records that I own. I took this to my family a couple of years ago, and in my family, not everybody loves music. As a matter of fact, my grandmother, she would turn off the radio if no one was at home. She hated music. My uncle never ever has enjoyed music. His name is Benny. Benny never enjoyed music. Benny is in his early 70s. And I got to my family, and I said, you know what, I want to play a record. And Benny almost said, yeah, well, if you're going to play music, I'm going to leave. So, please have one beer. I want to try out some new sounds for you guys. And he was sitting in the corner. He said, ah, I'll finish my beer, but then I'm going to go home. I have never in my life enjoyed music. I can understand that it might be I cannot play it myself, so I admire the fact that people have a technique, but I do not enjoy it. I do not feel it in my soul. I do not feel it in my heart. Then I put Red-Headed Stranger on, and the look on his face was changing. You saw the muscles in his face get smooth, and after a while, he started tapping along, and he got into the rhythm. And at the end of side one of Red-Headed Stranger, he looked at me and said, Can you put the second side on? And that was the first and only time this man loved music. Well, he might still. This record, Red as a Stranger, my parents were there as well. They were all, what's going on? This is great. If you want to get into country, try any of these 5 records. So I'm curious, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have another addition? Please leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.